Hello again, it's Richie here, continuing on from where I left off in the previous episode on building the Grand Tour spaceship. So, first thing of all, we've got the the central hub Colossus up there. Now we need to get something to get it up to the moon so we can refuel it. So, for that, we're going to be using good old Kethane miner. High capacity miners that I've done. Pretty straightforward. Solar panels on the outside, drills on the legs themselves. I'm also using the nuclear engines from the KSP X pack. I think they probably really should be stock, to be honest. And I know quite a few of the KSP X parts, and I've moved over to stock, and probably something to do with the developer being hired by squad. So I was hoping maybe they might have put more parts into the actual full game, but they might do yet in time. Anyway, enough chit chat. Let's get this thing launched so we can rendezvous with the Serenity. Okay, let's just check on the map screen where the Serenity is. What I need to do is have the Serenity just a little bit behind in orbit. Sort of roundabout over the desert region-ish. Which will make rendezvousing with it a bit quicker. So we'll use a time warp to move it on. Just until it's right about there. I think it should be spot on. I say I think. Might have to just spend a bit of time. Plan is to park this miner onto the back of the Serenity. From there, we should just about have enough fuel to push into the moon orbit, and then from there, hopefully drop down, refuel on the planet. Maybe plant a flag as well. If not, what I'll do is I'll try and get it into moon orbit as best I can, and from there I'll send up the engines for the actual Serenity. And from those, I'll have ample fuel to refuel the miner from. This thing does just about make it to orbit. Jebediah looking happy as Larry down in the corner there. He seems to have a smile on his face, Jebediah. Maybe he's just stupid and doesn't know where he's actually going. Bill's looking a little bit nervous there. Bob's missing at the minute from the line up to the crew, but we'll fix that later. What I'll do is I'll probably send up Bob and the rest of the crew for the Serenity in a later mission. I'll probably assemble the actual Serenity itself around the moon, and then move it into low Kerbin orbit in preparation for travel to the outer or inner planets. I've decided whether to go in or out yet, considering maybe making Eve a first destination. Going from Kerbin to Eve, Gilly, then to Moho, then out to Juno or something like that. And because in the previous video I also mentioned at the orbital assembly, what I'm going to be doing is building some infrastructure actually out the Serenity once I arrive at the planet. Things like rovers, landers, that kind of thing, maybe airships. It's a lot easier actually building in space, landing on a planet as it is actually building it on the pad, assembling it, and then launching it into space. There's a lot less things that can go wrong. So, gravity turn completed now, and all that's left now is just to push into orbit. You can see them run in the background there, just setting over Kerbin. Just about to run out of fuel on the lower engines. But I'm going to nudge up my altitude slightly a little bit. It's being blown up there. It's probably just these better stages. From here, we'll just need just a little bit of extra fuel, just nudge it into orbit. A lot of stages have done most of the grunt work of it. So if I check the map screen now, I'm coming up on the Serenity. Serenity is actually behind me. I'm going to set it as a target. I have a feeling if I carry on at this angle, maybe just a bit lower down, should just intersect it, go a little bit higher than it's currently at, and just drop down. You'll see what I mean in a second. I need one of these to line up, and then we can start making the magic work, really. .5 kilometers, that's close enough. So from here it's just a case of time warping until the Serenity catches up. And here we see it racing below us. Now for this point, we're going to want to match relative velocities. So, just above the nav pole, you see a little box there. What you need to do is click on it between speed of in orbit, speed over the surface, your relative speed to the target, assuming you've got one selected. 40 seconds, that's enough. Now if I get enough requests, or if people want me to do a video on it, on orbital rendezvous and docking, then feel free to comment on it and I'll consider it along the line. It's one of those things, it's kind of like learning how to ride a bike really. Once you've done it a few times, you get the hang of it. Probably is one of the harder things to do in KSP. But potential benefits from that we get out of it once you've actually done it makes it worthwhile. I'll just burn towards a target now, just to get in within physics range of it, which is about 2.5 kilometers. Let's get a bit closer than that. .3 kilometers, that's 300 meters off, that's close enough. What I'll do is I'll use a little bit of mech jib here, just on the ASAS. I'll target relative velocity. How much time I've got? 1 minute 20, that's plenty. So now within range of the Serenity. So I'll just wait till it gets a bit closer, then match the velocities with it. And once that's done, just a simple case of docking to the back of it, and then planning their trip to the Moon. I'll need to make sure I've got enough fuel actually. I think I should just about be able to wing it. But if not, we've got a contingency plan in place. One of the things I can't stress enough about orbital rendezvous and docking is patience above all things. And here we have part of the Grand Tour ship, core module in there, just floating over the continent. And this miner here, which will form with another miner, the main thrusting stages for it. It's a bit sloppy. I just want to get it a little bit heading more towards it. Yep, perfect. Now there's match relative velocities again. Don't need the orbit info anymore. Yeah, when you are doing docking, I'd recommend that you don't remove any windows that you're not using, just so you got a bit more visibility. I had to learn the hard way when something actually crashed behind one of the windows I had up on screen. Like anything else, so just practicing it. Before you know it, you'll be building, whatever you want, really. Just time up just to bring us a little bit closer. Perfect. Yeah, just slow down a little bit more. I'm going to be doing here something real bit cheeky. Control from there. Target the docking port on the front of the miner. And get MechJeb to target it. A bit too far there. And when I do that, MechJib turns the ship around, so the back end of where I'm going to park to is facing towards the docking port I'm going to be using. That will work if you're within about something like 150 meters of it. If you're a bit further beyond that, then nothing will happen if you tell them to target it and then switch ships. As it is now, even though I haven't got the KSS Serenity as my active vessel, you'll still respond to some extent to MechJeb commands. I'll just line it up with the pink dot. And from here it's just a case of using RCS just to bring it in slowly. what I'll do is I'll twist it around slightly, so if I need to deploy the solar panels, I can do. Otherwise, that way they're not going to be getting in the way of the quantum struts. That looks to be lined up pretty well. Time up to get a bit closer. Starting to drift. Oh, so yes, just point it back straight again. I think all being well, we should be smack on. As I've said, patience is the key. Look at relative velocity. I'm coming in very, very slowly. Boom, winning. So from here, I'll control from the front of it. And I'm going to check my delta V stats just to make sure I actually have enough fuel to get to the Mun. 11:04. Might just about be able to wing it to get there and get into orbit. I'm going to have to send up one of the engine parts from Kerbin to get it refueled, or I might actually do it while it's in low Kerbin orbit now, even though, as I said previously, it's a bit of a challenge. So what I'll do here is consider my options for now. So I'd like to thank you for watching. Like, comment and subscribe if you like what you've seen. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.